5 News This Morning starts now.
A potentially pivotal moment for higher education in the U.S. Coming up, the latest on the legal battle between Harvard University and the Trump administration.
And it's another hot one for us today. Extreme heat warning in the River Valley. High temperatures approaching 100. We'll talk about when we'll see possibly 100-degree days this week coming up.
And a plan to give renters in Fayetteville a stronger voice in city government is on hold again. Why the vote was delayed and how one council member says he's using the time to strengthen the proposal. I'll have that coming up.
First, a live look outside. What a beautiful sunrise this morning at 6:30 on this Monday.
Yeah, as you're walking out the door today, you're going to be hit with that heat because it is a hot one.
Yeah, the sun, it looks pretty, but it hurts today.
Yeah, it looks pretty, and I know it's cliche. I've heard people say Arca Sauna or, for like a nickname. It's hot out there.
Yeah.
You walk out the door and you're like, sheesh, I want to go back inside. And that's going to really be the theme for, well, the foreseeable future, but especially for us today. 79 degrees currently in Poto. Dew point, though, is 72. So we already have that feels like usually you don't have a heat index this early in the morning because usually it's a little bit cooler, but with temperatures close to 80 and you have that dew points already feeling like the low 80s out there. And the sun's only been up for maybe a handful of minutes. There is that extreme heat warning in effect for the River Valley, especially along I-40. Those that aren't in it, like LaFleur County as well as Scott County, that's just due to terrain, but still could see that heat index around 105 to 109. Northwest Arkansas, about 105. So we'll go through hour by hour what that'll look like. So feeling like the low 90s for Northwest Arkansas by 11 into the triple digits by this afternoon. Again, many areas could approach 105. For the River Valley, many areas hitting triple digits as early as possibly 11 and then getting close to 110 later this afternoon into the early evening. And for those of you that are like, all right, is this going to end anytime soon? Well, definitely not for the rest of July. You notice that temperature outlook well above normal here for basically a good majority of the Great Plains here, including us here in the 5 News coverage area. And through the start of August, it looks more of the same. So we'll talk more about the heat, humidity, if there's any rain chances coming up in just a little bit. For now, we'll take a look at traffic this morning. We'll go along I-49 at Johnson Mill Boulevard there. Good morning to you there. See that sun just about to peek out. We could see maybe a little bit of Saharan dust this morning that might be helping us a tidbit with the heat, but still not going to make much of an effect. Again, we'll talk more about the heat and humidity coming up in your full forecast. Joe and Tiffany.
All right, thanks for that, Danny. Well, if you do have some plans outside today, you will want to watch out for signs of heat-related illness. If you're experiencing symptoms like dizziness, thirst, sweat, or nausea, you're dealing with heat exhaustion. But if you're feeling confused or like you might pass out, you're likely experiencing heat stroke, which is much more serious. First responders say the most important thing that you can do is drink a lot of water. Well, if you're looking for a place to cool off, we do have a list of local cooling centers on our website. That's 5newsonline.com. To find that list, just text COOL to 479-785-5000.
Well, for the second time, a decision on renters' rights ordinance in Fayetteville is being put on hold.
Yeah, city council members have once again tabled the proposal. 5 News reporter Jacob Luthi is joining us now with what could happen next. Good morning, Jacob.
Yeah, good morning. City council member DeAndre Jones says nearly 60% of Fayetteville's population are renters, and he believes they deserve a seat at the table. His proposed ordinance would create a renters council to give tenants a stronger voice in city policy decisions. The vote has been put on hold for a second time, but Jones says the delay could actually help, giving him more time to build support and strengthen the proposal. Now, if approved, the renters council would consist of 15 appointed members, all of whom must be renters, tasked with advising the mayor and city council on public policy issues that impact renters across Fayetteville. The council would have the ability to propose city council agenda items, including resolutions and ordinances. The proposed ordinance states that the median income in the city has stagnated while house value has grown exponentially. The proposed council would act as a replacement for the now disbanded Fayetteville Housing Crisis Task Force, formed in 2024 after the city declared a housing crisis. Jones says he wants residents to be patient as he works to finalize the proposal.
Want to make sure that it passes and that we have the right legal language and that we're able to create a resolution and ordinance that's going to work for Fayetteville. And so that requires patience, that requires research, and that requires our due diligence.
Jones says he plans to work with outside organizations to gather more research and will also meet with the city attorney to make sure the proposed ordinance is legally sound. It's expected to be discussed again on August 5th. Jacob Luthi, 5 News.
All right, thanks for that, Jacob. Well, this morning, it has been just over 6 months since President Trump took office.
Yeah, he posted on social media saying, quote, "We got a lot of good and great things done." A new CBS News poll finds that 42% of Americans approve of the job the president is doing, though it is down from a high of 53% in February. But the president posted his numbers have set records in the Republican Party since the, quote, Jeffrey Epstein hoax was exposed. Well, in the legal battle between Harvard University and the Trump administration, the two sides are presenting their arguments before a federal judge today.
The president opposes diversity, equity, and inclusion programs and alleges anti-Semitism on some school campuses. Given the threats to federal funding, Harvard University is suing the administration. Amy Kiley has more.
The goal is to narrow our ability to think, to teach, to voice.
They're totally anti-Semitic at Harvard.
It's a big day in the months-long battle between Harvard University and the Trump administration. A federal judge is hearing oral arguments for two related lawsuits. They challenge the government's freezing of billions of dollars in funding for Harvard. President Donald Trump argues the school's DEI efforts are discriminatory. He also alleges its handling of pro-Palestinian demonstrations was harmful to Jewish students.
We give them billions of dollars, which is ridiculous. We do grants, which we're probably not going to be doing much grants anymore.
Harvard's lawsuit alleges freezing the funds, quote, has nothing to do with anti-Semitism. The school argues Trump really wants, quote, control over its academic enterprise.
This is a battle about power.
The second lawsuit is from a faculty group and makes similar arguments about free speech and procedural requirements. Both lawsuits also say Harvard's research leads to medical and scientific advancements for the betterment of society.
I'd rather see that money go to trade schools.
The big picture question is whether we will be rewarding research to where, based on scientific merit, or whether a university follows the political ideology of the president and his administration.
Amy Kiley, 5 News.
Well, here at home, we're hearing from the Arkansas Department of Transportation about how speed enforcement cameras going up in work zones on the interstate are working. These cameras have been added to more work zones in the past 2 years since a new state law was passed allowing them. Dave Parker with RDOT says getting people to slow down was the ultimate goal. And since being installed last June, police have issued more than 5,000 warnings and over 800 citations.
In the last couple of years, we've had a handful of fatalities involving maintenance workers out there doing basic jobs, retrieving debris in the roadway that could cause a major accident, trying to get something along the shoulder. And these things happen because people aren't slowing down in active work zones.
Arkansas currently has 3 work zone cameras. One is on I-49 in Fayetteville. The other is on I-57 and I-55.
Happening now, Fayetteville's Restaurant Week is underway and will continue through Saturday. It's where more than 70 local restaurants are involved, offering special menus and deals to showcase the city's vibrant food scene.
Lots of great things that people can come and sample. We hope that people will come out and try something new because we have such a diversity of restaurants in Fayetteville.
Well, this is Fayetteville Restaurant Week's 3rd year.
Looking ahead, the United Way of the Fort Smith area is hosting their annual Fill the Bus school supply drive this week. It's happening Friday and Saturday while shoppers buy their back-to-school supplies for their children. Now, they can pick up a few extra items, drop them off at the school bus that will be parked in front of local Walmart supercenters.
The school districts do a really good job at spreading these school supplies and making them last all year long. So the more that we raise, the better prepared they are all year long. And I think that's very important. It's not just the first few months. These teachers really hold on to these things and make them last. It does alleviate some of that stress, and every child deserves to have what they need to succeed.
Volunteers will be at all River Valley Walmart locations this Friday from 9 to 7 and Saturday from 9 to 1.
More severe storms hit parts of the country over the weekend as several states deal with recovery efforts. I'm Bradley Blackburn with new images and how Texas lawmakers are meeting to take action on flood warning systems.